Given the circumstances that the clone troopers emerged from their secret facilities on Kamino at a point that seemed entirely too convenient, it isn't too surprising that Yoda or any Jedi would be a bit suspicious about the entire affair. Although there were connections to Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas, the origins of the clones was still not completely understood. That said, they were a much needed and loyal fighting force to help protect the Republic from the threat of the Separatists. However, for Jedi Grand Master Yoda, the extreme loyalty shown by the clone troopers in the first year of the war would be the exact quality that would cause him to question the long-term strategy of relying upon the clones. In this video expose, we'll look at the moment early in the Clone War where Yoda clearly stopped completely trusting the Republic clone troopers. In the first year of the Clone War, Republic Commando Sergeant 28-8 went before Jedi Masters Yoda and Mace Windu to explain the mission he just returned from on the moon of Asturias, which, judging by the wounds he sustained, was clearly a violent one. Yoda and Mace made it clear that while they didn't question the validity of the Sergeant's report, they did want clarification on a number of points. With that, the Sergeant proceeded to tell his version of events, beginning with his team of commandos escorting Lorca Ovaidu, director of an organization that manufactured war machines and weapons for the Republic. Believing the life support systems of Ovaidu's starship were malfunctioning, the escort group dropped out of hyperspace close to the moon of Asturias, only to be quickly flanked by a Separatist capital ship and its contingent of starfighters. The Republic forces didn't stand a chance, with one escort craft being instantly annihilated and the Sergeant's starship crash landing upon the moon, along with that of the directors, separating the Republic forces. Once on the moon, the Commandos collected themselves, with the captain ordering Theta Squadron to leave behind the dead and all non-essential equipment. Attempting to carry out the team's escort mission, Sergeant 28-8 first wanted to ascertain the location of Director Ovaidu's ship, and once they had it, proceeded to go rescue the director. Once they were on board, they found everyone was already dead, but strangely, there were no signs of an ambush or firefight, merely close-quarter impacts, suggesting they'd all been executed. Even worse, the systems that formed the basis for their initial dropping out of hyperspace weren't malfunctioning at all. After finding a set of tracks leading away from the vessel, consisting of battle droids and a single set of human tracks, the Sergeant knew exactly what had occurred. The director staged the entire thing, and he was exactly right. We then see the director speaking with Wat Tambor of the Separatists, and through their conversation, we learn the ambush was planned by Director Ovaidu. As a way to silence rumors, he was sympathetic to the Separatists. Through the ambush, he would continue to uphold his guise as a supporter of the Republic, and because of this support, he could continue to sell weapons to the Republic for their war effort, and then pass that information to the Separatists, revealing the Republic's troop strength and deployment patterns. After it becomes clear the director hated the clones, seeing them solely as motherless vat-grown killers, this time, it was the Separatists protecting the director who were victims of an ambush carried out by the Commandos. After a large firefight that left even more clone troopers dead upon the moon, the Sergeant and Theta Squadron obtained the director. It wasn't long before Ovaidu recognized the Commandos heard everything and ordered that he be set free. But as the Sergeant confirmed, he already had his orders, and he was going to carry out his escort no matter what. Fighting through B-2 battle droids and Separatist starfighters, Theta Squadron fought their way towards the director's vessel, with many falling along the way, and Sergeant 28-8 sustaining even more injuries. In exchange for setting him free, the director even offered the Commandos a chance at freedom, using his wealth to get them out of the war and to start their own lives. But the Commandos couldn't be bought and remained loyal to the Republic and its orders. Eventually, not even the captain would survive the fight into the starship, and by the end, Sergeant 28-8 was the only survivor of their mission on the moon, having carried out his escort mission and returned the director to Coruscant to be arrested. As he would then learn, the director himself died not long after returning to Coruscant, not from any injury, but from sudden respiratory failure. Having provided his story, Mace assured the Sergeant that his fellow Commandos who were killed in the fighting wouldn't go unnoticed or unappreciated, and they wouldn't be forgotten. With that, Sergeant 28-8 merely replied, "As you wish, sir," and turned to leave the High Council chambers. Interestingly, although the clone had just recounted his heroics in carrying out a Republic mission in the face of almost impossible odds, Yoda wasn't convinced the efforts were entirely positive for the Jedi, asking Mace if he admired the commando. When Mace confirmed he respected the clone, he explained that although they had their initial concerns about the clones from Kamino, they had certainly proven themselves in the war, showing that they were willing to sacrifice themselves for the Republic. But for Yoda, it was exactly that which concerned him most. As Yoda would conclude, Director Ovidu was only a single man, one who could have easily been forgotten by the clones or dealt with at a different time and place. And yet, the Commandos sacrificed themselves for this single person, because that's what their orders were, with Sergeant 28-8 not even apparently showing visible regret or remorse. For Yoda, he agreed with Mace the clone troopers were a loyal ally, but it couldn't be forgotten they were a weapon, one that followed and obeyed orders no matter what they were. While they fought for the Republic and Jedi at that point, there may come a time when this loyalty changed and they received new orders that would no longer be of benefit to the Jedi. Their greatest strength in the war was also their greatest threat. In the end, Yoda was exactly right, and the story of Theta Squadron had a massive impact on why he would be hesitant through the remainder of the war to completely trust the clone troopers. So there we have it, the moment Yoda recognized the true threat of the clone troopers. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... For RC1080.